Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing on our Hisuian Pokemon speculation for VGC Gen 9 or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to talk about Kleavor today. Now, Kleavor is a new bug rock type that is part of the Scyther line. So you can Evo Scyther to either Scizor or this thing. And on paper, this really isn't that bad. First of all, typing. Rock Bug looks great on paper. So you have 7 super effectives, which is a decent amount. That's quite offensive. And you even hit some really good typings that are common in VGC, like Dark, Flying, Grass, for super effective. That's really nice. But this is only weak to Rock, Steel, and Water because Bug and Rock cover each other's weaknesses very well. And while it only resists Normal and Poison, not very common typings, only having 3 things that it's weak to makes this a very balanced typing. So you have a lot of offense and a fair amount of defense as well. So on paper, Bug Rock is really a great typing. Moving on to abilities, we have Swarm. Swarm's not really that great. Sheer Force is most likely the ability you're going to be running on this, which of course increases the power of moves that have a secondary effect by 30%. But the secondary effect goes away, so your Rock Slide flinches will leave if you run Sheer Force. And the hidden ability is Steadfast. I don't think Steadfast is really the optimal play. Most likely you just want Sheer Force, unless you absolutely want Rock Slide flinches. Now, moving on to the stats. These stats are okay. So the base hit points is 70, and your base defense 95, special defense 70, not that bad. A little squishy on the special side, but physical defense is pretty good. 45 special attack, so you won't be running a special move at all. 85 speed, not slow, but not super fast either. And 135 base physical attack, that is quite high. So you will definitely be running this offensively. Now, this does get a signature move in the form of Stone Axe, which is a 65 power physical rock move with 90% accuracy that leaves stone splinters that will damage the target for several turns. Now, I believe this is also a high crit move, so you do have the increased crit chance there. It's not the worst move ever. The actual power of it is only 65, which is a little bit on the weak side, and 90 accuracy is never fun to just have, because we've seen play roughs lose matches before. But this really is not that bad of a move. I'm not sure if the stone splinters go away with sheer force or not. That is something we cannot test. So now this also does get some other good rock moves, stealth rock, which is much better in singles than doubles. But this does get rock slide, best move in the game. It does get stone edge, and on the bug side you get X Scissor and Silver Wind, which I don't think you would be running Silver Wind on this. There's very little point in doing so. But X Scissor, most likely you will be running that on this. Now, it does get Close Combat is always a good option to have, and it covers Steel and Rock. And oddly enough, this gets Air Slash. I don't know why you would ever run Air Slash on this. So yeah, it's not really an insanely good move pool. You do have the good rock moves. You have X Scissor, which is one of the better bug type moves. And you do have Close Combat, which if I were building this thing, I would run either Rock Slide or Stone Edge with X Scissor and Close Combat. I would pass on Stone Axe. I just don't think it synergizes very well with this mon. And the 4th move, I would most likely run Protect, but you could also get away with Swords Dance. If you're predicting a very passive lead, Swords Dance is a great answer for that. If you are running Rock Slide and you go for Sheer Force, Rock Slide is going to be hitting pretty hard, and so I would combine that with a Life Orb. Just go for some incredibly strong Rock Slides. But the 85 speed stat, you could actually go for a Choice Scarf and skip Sheer Force entirely. Maybe go, well, Steadfast is a little better than Swarm, I think. So you could go for Steadfast with Choice Scarf and just go for the Rock Slide flinch hacks. That's always fun. But basically, you're going to use this as offense. It may not be the main offense in your team, but it would make a decent finisher, I think. If you want to use this as a finisher, you could run Quick Attack on it. That would give it a little bit more flexibility. So this thing really doesn't do anything wrong. It's another bug rock type. It has not really the best set of abilities, but it does have good moves, and the stats are fairly decent for what it is. and having great super effectives on a lot of common typings in the meta. On paper, it looks great. But as we have seen in VGC, bug rock types really don't have much of a presence. Because even Crustle, it has pretty good moves, pretty good abilities, you get sturdy. And it also has pretty good stats like this. But I don't remember a VGC format where Crustle was exactly dominant. And in a restricted format with restricted legendaries, it is pretty hard to run something like this, especially now with things like Zacian, which really hurt this thing pretty bad. This does not have an answer for Zacian at all. So in a format without restricted legendaries, this would be pretty decent. I don't think it's going to be sweeping teams left and right, but it really doesn't do enough wrong for it to be bad. And I think you could fit it in a team as some pretty good offensive coverage for maybe a bad matchup. But I would not expect to just see this in every team, and most likely you're not going to see it in tournaments. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.